Episode 46 is in the books. If you like what you hear, hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/Socratic Gamers to support.
Yeah. Where do you find our merch?
Merchandise is on shop.GottaLightMyFire.com. Pick up a tee on Teespring. That's a great way to support. YouTube's not going to do it because we ain't got no 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah?
Yeah, 1,000 subscribers and 40,000 hours of video watch time.
I don't remember, but something like that.
So, something crazy. So, YouTube, small creators, you ain't got no means.
It's a struggle.
It's struggle out here. Struggle's real. So, support us through other means such as Patreon and Teespring, or just like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Comment. Get us out there.
That helps a lot.
Yeah, and if you hear something on here, because I know we talk like pretty philosophical and stuff, if you want to post a reply video or like even post it, yeah, questions would be pretty cool because I mean that would give us content we don't have to work for.
Like PewDiePie.
Yeah, what's that PewDiePie thing? It's like original content is like lava, don't touch the floor.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, here we go.
We're back with another episode of Socratic Gamers. This is episode 46. 46, correct?
I believe so. I think I did put it as 46, yeah.
Yeah, divisible by 1, 46, 2, 3. No, I don't know if it's 3. 10. No, it's not divisible by 10. Whatever. You math geniuses out there, you'll figure it out. So, this is another weekly roundup where we discuss 5 things from the week that we thought were kind of cool.
Yeah.
And, actually 4 things, because the last one is usually a philosophical question now. I drop philosophical bombs on Michelle, and we try and see what it is he talks about. So the first thing on the docket is Ram Dass's new documentary. I know you haven't seen this one.
No, I have not yet.
It's would I recommend watching it? Might as well. I mean, it's only 30 minutes.
Right.
Basically, he just talks about his philosophy, and he's in a wheelchair the whole time. Not really. He's, like, in a wheelchair, and he's, like, swimming and stuff. But, like, he had a stroke, and they're just showing, like, his love of life from the stroke.
Uh-huh.
But so, like, what really got me on this one is, like, I kind of disagree with don't really agree with it anymore. Just, like, so Ram Dass is all about, like, you have to love your experience. Like, love everything you do. Everything in life is, like good, you know, like
right.
We are all consciousness, we are all one, et cetera, like things you've heard, I'm sure you've heard all the time, right?
Uh-huh.
But like I actually appreciate more the Taoist perspective now because it makes more logical sense to me, where it's like it is what it is, like there's good and bad in this world and you need both, right? Because like is that
like, that's what Taoist means?
Yeah, Tao, like so basically a yin yang are 2 polar opposites. One's like fast, slow, like just basically opposite energies. Mm-hmm. And then the Tao is the totality of them both. So Tao just means like both of them. Yeah. It means the way, like if you literally translate it, but it's like yin yang and Tao. So it's 1, 2, like 2 opposites, and then considering them both together, that's Tao.
Oh, I see. Right.
So like good, bad, and then good, bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like it seems like the yoga perspective is all about good, right? Mm-hmm. There's no bad, right? It's like even the bad is still lovable. But it's like, is that true? I don't know. Like you can say it maybe. All I really feel is all these philosophies, all these perspectives are just things to help us out until we die. Right? It's like, how do you want to look at the world? How do you want to interpret the world until it's time for you to go and you can't even look or interpret anything anymore? Mm-hmm. Right? So, like, my only gripe with, because I've never heard anything about Ram Dass, but I've heard a lot about him, but I haven't read any of his work. Right. I've read some quotes here and there, but like nothing like sensitive, right? Yeah. And I agree with his meditative practices, where it's like basically he teaches you how to train your attention towards the breath, right? Which is what I do too. Because like if you direct your focus, then your consciousness is active awareness, like your focus, right? Mm-hmm. So like if you direct your consciousness or your focus in one direction, you can like make it so in that direction that you forget about the rest of the world. It's sort of like when you're in the zone, right? If you're playing a video game and then you're so into it, you don't even think about like today, tomorrow. Right. You know, you're just thinking about the game. Yeah. Basically, that's what he wants you to do with the breath. Oh, okay. All right. So that's I agreed with that part. And then he started to go into like, you know, like love everything you do, and it's like I don't disagree with that, but it's like that's a very privileged way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then people will say like, but how's it privileged because he had a stroke and he's in a wheelchair? It's like, yeah, that's his choice of how he wants to perceive his life in order to get by until he's dead.
Yeah.
You know.
I see.
But that's what I'm saying. I gravitate more towards like, there's good, there's bad, and then the Tao is realizing it's all in your head.
Yeah.
You know, there's no good or bad. It's both.
Yeah.
It's good, bad.
Right.
What's bad to one is good to another.
Of course.
Right. So yeah, that was basically it. It's only 30 minutes. Like, you know.
Well,
my sister fell asleep though. I was like putting on. She's like, "What kind of BS are you making me watch right now?" And then I'm like, "Yo, you see this part? Yo!" And I nudge her. She's like, "What?" She's like totally gone. She's like, "This is kind of boring, yo."
That's kind of short though. I saw the trailer. I thought it was like.
I thought it was gonna be about his life. It's him talking the whole time.
Okay.
About like how you appreciate life and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Well. I don't know. I don't know much about him. I think I did hear the name, but I thought it was.
You know that line where it's like we're all just walking each other home? There's this really cool picture I like where it's like Buddha, Jesus, and Krishna are all like walking together, and then it says like we're all just walking each other home. He ends the documentary with that. We're all just walking each other home.
Home to where?
To death.
Oh, okay.
Like we're all just helping each other out. See, that's the other thing. Why do you have to make it so like airy fairy? You know what I mean? It's like we're all just walking each other home, and then you said home to where? It's like if
but
you
that
go,
causes confusion. Then.
It does, because then people go like he's like you have to go until like the great divide is undivided, and we become a universal spirit of blah blah blah. But basically, you're just talking about dying. You know, it's like why don't you just say we're just making ourselves feel better until we're dead?
Yeah. Right.
You know.
Right.
Like we have this puppy, right? And like I look at her all the time, and I think like as I'm like petting her and stuff, I'm like, wow, you're gonna die someday, before I die. Yeah. But you're gonna have like a great experience of like feeling loved.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like we're all just walking each other home, bro. Like we're all dying, but what are you gonna do on the way to death? Or are you gonna assist death and you become like a death dealer and you'll become like a Stalin or something? You know.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. That's about it. Getting these spiritual gripes on. Okay, so you was talking about license to take a pic of Earth.
Right.
We now need licenses.
Yeah. So it's not that we now need. It existed before.
Okay.
It's just I think something happened that caused SpaceX needing for commercial flights.
Okay.
Needing to get a license from it's called the NOCO? NOAA.
Oh.
Yeah.
NOAA.
No.
NOAA.
It's National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, and
so basically, they've been. If you do NASA missions, you don't need these. There's certain regulations you don't have to have to do this. Mm-hmm. But because you're doing a government thing, right? Mm-hmm. You already kind of signed some confidentiality, I guess.
Okay.
So this law was passed 26 years ago.
Oh, dang. All right.
Yeah. It was done to basically...
So did they know that, like, space travel was going to be a prominent thing in the future? Like...
No. Space travel. So basically, what was happening at that time in the 92 when this was passed, I think.
Okay.
Private companies were like interested in launching Earth imaging satellites.
Makes sense. Okay.
Right. So, but in doing that, they were. The U.S. was worried that they might inadvertently snap pictures of like troop movements, defense stuff, right? Yeah. So it was just a method to prevent them from taking that and selling it to the highest bidder.
Makes sense, yeah.
So that they would have to do this kind of thing.
You know what's funny? When people say government's not a that's such a gang move. You know, like Tupac in that movie, All Eyes on Me, he was saying like the biggest gang is the American government, you know? And then like something like that, it's like, yeah, of course you don't want them to see your defenses.
Yeah.
But then they're saying like, no, it's for the protection of the country. It's like, no, protection for your interest. Technically, just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
again the Dow. It is what it is, bro.
I think
I'm
if
not speaking
we're at right
for.
now, as a country, I think if they're all, you don't know. Countries think they have enemies, so they have to do things to prevent people.
You know what that is?
stealing
That's progress,
information.
bro. Like if without enemies, you'll have no progress.
Yeah.
So it's like.
So they got to do these sort of things, right?
Again, back to the Dow, where it's like you need both.
Yeah.
Like if everyone's like all Ram Dassi and love, then
right.
Well, you're just gonna not do anything. You know.
Yeah.
I always revert back to like, do you like your iPhone? Because I do.
Right.
And that costs lives. You know. All right. So continue.
So, basically, yeah. That's so. I think the reason why this happened to them because it didn't happen before.
Okay.
Right. They didn't. So what happened? I think it was in the recent launch where they.
So they just got hit with legalities. Basically, what happened.
So yeah, they had to. They couldn't show. They did apply, but
Okay.
it didn't come in prior to the launch.
Okay.
Of the recent launch.
Mm-hmm.
So, like people were watching, then all of a sudden they couldn't show what was happening.
Okay. Yeah.
Once they reached space, right? So then they're like, this is kind of weird because we've always seen it all the time. They didn't have to apply before.
Okay.
But the reason I think, but no one's really saying this. Well, some people are saying this. The reason they think that this is happening is because when they launched the Tesla car, they had a 4-hour live stream in space.
Dang.
So that kind of, because before it was mainly like you're in space for like a couple minutes.
Okay.
And then you're, right. Basically, it's enough. You don't really get much to show. But then you were up there for 4 hours filming Earth.
Yeah.
So I guess that's probably why they're like, I don't know if this is right or this is a good thing. So maybe maybe we'll look into what laws
like
we
retroactive.
have to apply. Yeah. But it's not like you won't get those licenses. You just apply and you'll get it.
Oh, okay. So
they're not preventing you. It's just that they will know who's going into space.
Yeah.
If anything does happen.
I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's just
a preventative.
It's like a step in the way.
Yeah.
So there's nothing really like hindering them.
No.
Okay.
It's not hindering them. It's just interesting to see that kind of, because if you do just read but not really look into it, it sounds conspiracy.
Right.
Like,
True,
what are they hiding? You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, I get you. Actually, you know what? Quick pause. Bonus topic, because I didn't really think about this one, but I think we'd be remiss to not talk about we were just talking about obstacles, right?
Yeah.
The obstacle to UFC 223.
Oh, right.
McGregor came all the way from Ireland, and then just like went on a rampage, smashed that bus up, caused like
I don't think
3 fights to cancel.
Did he go inside the bus? I was hearing like
No, he couldn't get in the bus. They locked the doors, and then he threw like a trash can.
I think the TMZ's got those videos.
Yeah.
Though.
Well, actually, UFC Embedded was also filming, so like the Embedded episode has it.
So I see.
There's no hiding it. But then, because you were talking about like laws and like obstacles,
yeah.
And then we were talking earlier about how like I read that he could face up to 11 years in prison for his actions.
Damn. Okay.
You know? But you're the one who said like could face, meaning it's not certain. So they're just like buzzing it up, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, who knows? Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what they're going to say.
Couldn't he also just get extradited?
Yeah, he's not. If he's not American, yeah.
He's not American now. I don't believe so.
Yeah.
So like, I think, you know, if things don't, because he posted bail, right? And he owns a private jet, so there's no like, if he just runs back to Ireland and stays there, he's fine. They're not gonna go get him,
right?
You know, they can, but like the manpower required to go get him is like not worth it.
Yeah, I don't know.
He'll just never fight again.
Yeah,
that's
but it affected the whole fight you were telling me, right?
Yeah,
which was
not the whole fight, but like three fights got canceled because of it. So that's not good. But I mean, like, dang.
Shit happens.
I remember when I first told you, you're like, oh, it's like pro wrestling now. I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah,
totally,
yeah. Like WWE. What's going on? This is turning into.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because you would think like, oh, maybe it's a conspiracy to like maybe the conspiracy is that they paid him so that they could hype up the fight even more.
Right.
But then when you see him in prison, you're like, oh wait, no, I don't think that was a masterful plan. I think he just decided that would be a good idea. But how does nobody tell him? Like,
I don't know. It's who he's surrounded by, man.
yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? Oh, the guy. Remember the guy I told you Khabib was like being like, you call me pussy. Remember that? The guy, and they showed like a picture, and that guy, as Conor's throwing the trash can, he's like got his hands on his head, like, oh no. And then the caption's like, the moment Artem realized Conor effed up. You know, because it's like even though they're friends, it's like, oh dang, you went too far.
Right.
You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Yeah. So that's too bad. Hopefully everything goes okay with him. It's sad when you see like that kind of stuff happen to people. Like if like this goes south.
Yeah, if it goes south.
Loses all his money. He definitely lost his sponsorship deals. Like that's game over.
But
It's like, how did you not think about that when you were doing it? Like, I don't know. Or maybe it's like to make a better name for yourself. But then at the same time, it's like I saw Enson Inoue, this other fighter. He posted this thing where it's like he showed different celebrities who have gone through scandals.
Oh, okay.
And then he put like Conor's face there. And it's like, yeah, people do these crazy things in the past. Like, you know, it's like not new. But the way he was speaking about like his mentality, his mindset and all that, it's like in the beginning, you think that it's an act, like the way Conor acts.
Right.
Too.
Yeah.
And then with this, it's like, okay, maybe you just actually do think the way you act. It's not for show anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe you actually do believe what you've been saying.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, though.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I mean,
Speaking of like the vision, you know, like how The Secret, you have to envision it. I wonder if he. He's like,
did he envision this?
Yeah, maybe he didn't envision this. Yeah, he's like, damn, I should have kept my eye on the prize, you know, because you had all the money, you made $200 million, your family was set, and then now this.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless he's thinking like, it doesn't matter, like I'll make a name for myself and then just run back to Dublin, Ireland, no extradition. Whatever. So your next one, SpaceX.
Yeah. So in that recent launch, it was a resupply mission to was it with the Dragon mission? Yeah, it was Dragon mission going to resupply the International Space Station.
Okay, cool.
So they had a few things in there, cool, like again more research, and then in that resupply, like some research things. I think HP or not HP. I don't want to say it's HP, but like some printer was going there to print in zero gravity.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Some new thing.
Print in zero gravity. That must be hard because how does the ink go forward?
Yeah, so that's a new tech that they're bringing up there for them.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, and along with that, the other thing was they sent something up called RemoveDEBRIS.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And so
it's like a lot of space debris out there.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Because recently there was a Chinese satellite.
Okay.
I think it was last Saturday where it crashed back into Earth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I mean, you don't know. Like it should burn up. But like you don't know if it's going to have any.
The actual
impacts.
name of that technology is called RemoveDEBRIS.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really creative. Yeah, I like it.
That's all you need to know, right? Why do you need to call it anything else?
Sure.
But it works. It's kind of interesting. How do you think it's going to work? How do you think they're going to capture debris and?
Okay, either a net.
Yeah.
Oh.
As simple as that.
Okay, I was gonna say either net or lasers.
No, they're not going to destroy it with lasers.
Pew, 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 pew. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
So then you can make lightsabers and shit like that.
Yeah, when you said capture, I was like, oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah, I give it to you.
Yeah.
I should have just said how they're going to do it. So basically, they, I don't know, yeah, they remove debris. It's its own.
Oh, it's sort of like the net that catches the Tesla thing, remember?
Oh, you mean the flarings? Yeah, the flarings as it comes off. They tried that again. I think it failed again.
Ooh.
They said it's gonna take a few months to figure out. But
if you don't try, you ain't gonna get it. So
okay,
I'll keep trying. You
sure.
know?
Yeah.
Right. I mean.
Yeah. So I think it's a little bit. It's a small satellite or something. I think it's connected to the arm. I'm not sure. Like the way the video was kind of showing.
Okay.
And then it would shoot out the net, capture that thing, and then kind of pull it in.
That's weird. Okay, like
Yeah,
okay,
like a harpoon kind of thing.
No,
Is it like it's not a harpoon but with a net,
yeah.
and then it pulls it in.
There are things like that, like a crab cage.
So they
or
can
something.
they can control like how it will burn up to go into Earth, and then,
Oh, that's kind of cool.
yeah, without having.
It's like rudimentary technology. I like it.
Yeah, pretty simple because there's so much.
But you know what's funny?
Research
It's so
for it
simple,
there.
but it's so complex to get done.
Oh yeah.
Although
yeah,
it's so like that.
Yeah. We say it's the idea is simple,
Yeah,
but there's so much calculations.
That's crazy. Yeah. No. It's not simple. Like,
It's not simple. It's not
it's
simple.
a
That's
basic
true.
idea.
Yeah.
You know.
It sounds simple.
Yeah, it sounds.
But that's
simple.
how. Yeah.
But it's like, well, how are you gonna mathematically figure that out? Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So that was like. That was an interesting thing. Like they're looking at. I think it's because of that kind of like. Well, I don't think it's because of that, but like they had ideas that this is. We need to figure out a way to get rid of unused things up there. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
So I think that was cool. Like, that means that there's a real problem, right? Like, I think
Don't
we
tell
already
me
know
that.
that.
That's kind of freaky.
What?
Like, there's a real problem out there. Like, oh, I wonder
No, that's
if
what that
space
means.
debris is gonna kill us.
No.
bro.
Okay, what I mean by debris is not. Let me clarify
Asteroids?
this. Not asteroids.
Oh, okay.
The debris that we put up there.
Okay. Well, if you listen to Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson, though, we pass through the asteroid belt twice a year, and we have like a high chance of being hit. That's why
We're not talking
Russia-
about that though.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Oh yeah, of course.
that's out there too. Like,
All the ones that come to Earth are from the asteroid belt.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I knew that. Like it goes into a lot of it goes into Mars, like we just saw.
Yeah.
If you're watching the video. And then a lot of it
Jupiter actually.
is also help protect.
Yeah.
Jupiter is also help protecting us as well. So, but we also send stuff through that anyways.
The asteroid belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Cross our fingers.
Yeah. So it's basically all the satellites that we have up there. That's just maybe that'll help us block off some of those things coming in.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah. That's cool. All right, so well, we watched A Quiet Place.
Yeah, movie. Yeah.
2 days ago. 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Opening day, Thursday. Yeah, what'd you think?
Oh, I loved it.
We decided that it didn't warrant an entire episode,
Mm-hmm.
but we thought we'd talk about it in the podcast. So,
Yeah.
Quiet Place. Because if you're like, oh, how come you don't just do a movie review? It's like, it wasn't. There's not that much to talk about.
Like yeah,
It was
it's
unique, so.
It was pretty quiet.
It was actually very quiet. That was shocker. Because when we're eating chips, you're like, okay, don't crunch.
Yeah. That's what I was eating the
Oh,
popcorn,
no, I
and
know.
I'm like hearing everything.
And you're like, oh god, sorry guys. You had to wait for when like there was a little bit of like slight noise, and you're like, I got you now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically they can't talk or else monsters will kill them.
Yeah.
It was a very unique idea, and it's probably one of the first movies where I actually felt thrilled. Like I was actually like scared. I wouldn't say I was scared, but like you felt the thriller when you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, don't say anything.
Oh yeah.
But like like I watch so many horror movies because like Sunshine into that, but like I never get scared. But like this one actually not scared, but like
It's not
the
scary.
thriller.
It's a thriller.
Yeah.
It's because the poster makes you think it's like some kind of ghost or horror, like that style.
It's like a giant bug or
It's
something.
it's some creature that's if you make any noise, it'll just kill you.
Yeah, so it's like super unique in that like
Yeah.
they didn't use a lot of sound, but whenever they did use sound, it's interesting to see how much sound plays a role in freaking you out. Because
Mm-hmm.
like when it's all silent and then all of a sudden sound comes, you're like, oh no, or especially when the whole idea is not to make sound. Oh man, yeah, it's a good movie.
Oh yeah.
I'd say it's a definite must watch. Like
Yeah.
for entertainment, like it won't really teach you anything about life, but it's like a very entertaining movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think everything has to teach you about life.
No,
but-
not true, but I mean, I wouldn't put it up on
Yeah.
GottaLightMyFire. I wouldn't recommend it as like one of those movies where it's like, oh, you want to learn something? Like watch this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not learning anything. It's,
Exactly. Yeah, it's just entertaining.
Yeah, it's good story.
Emily Blunt, is that her name?
I think so.
She's we were saying how she makes like a lot of like
It's like independent movies,
they're
right?
really good independent movies. She was in
Yeah.
Looper, Sicario, this movie, In Time, which was like Like they keep looping back the same day,
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a really good actress. I really like her stuff. She's yeah, she picks really good roles. Who's that guy who's a comedian, right? The father?
Yeah, he's from The Office.
Yeah, I knew I saw him. All right, all
Yeah.
right. Speaking of comedic acts, so the reason why I want to bring this up was two things. The big spoiler alert. So one, so the monsters won't come if something is louder than you making the sound. So he went to the waterfall and he was screaming at the top of his lungs. So I was thinking, why didn't you just build a house at the waterfall, bro? Like,
But they
the
didn't
whole
build a
movie-
house, though.
or like a tent or something, or when she was giving birth, why didn't you just make her give birth at the waterfall? Something, like use that waterfall more effectively, bro.
Yeah, but then they got to bring the baby back
Just whatever
to the
man.
place.
Or just,
you
like,
build
your commune.
I was thinking soundproofing would work. Well, why wouldn't that? Like, you should. Like, I guess they were building that for when the baby was born. But yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But that really cheesed me because when I saw that, I was like, come on, guys. Your answer's right here. You know what I mean? Like, we could have ended this movie right there.
Uh-huh.
And then the sound coming out of her ears, that sucked.
Oh, right.
Because her father died. If she had only figured it out sooner, he wouldn't have died.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, she shut it off.
Yeah, sure. She is. She has like
Yeah.
an earpiece. And, like, when she turns it on and the monster's near, it amplifies the sound because the monsters can hear really well. So it amplifies that sound so much that they freak out. And they like go like get headaches and stuff, and then
Yeah.
it can be blown away. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good movie, but that was the only plot hole where I was like, or no, the second thing I didn't like is why'd you have the baby? So like she was pregnant. So in the beginning of the movie, she didn't have a baby.
They couldn't find condoms.
Touche.
I don't know. The world's done.
I guess, but it's like, you just made your life way more difficult by having a baby.
Yeah, but
'Cause it's
I
like-
think there's a different meaning to that too.
Like, in spite of hardship, they're gonna live on. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I
That's
think that's
weak.
what that's about.
That was weak. I don't like
Okay.
that. I didn't like that at all. Maybe first figure out how to survive and then have the baby, bro. Build the goddamn house at the waterfall and then have all the babies you want.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So plot holes, but
With all that.
still a
still
good
good.
movie. Yeah. Like you'll find it very thrilling. I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what do you rate it out of 10?
Oh man. I enjoy it like an 8, man.
Ooh.
Like an 8, yeah.
I'll give it an 8 too.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you on this one.
Yeah.
It was very good. It wasn't like a 10.
Of
It
course, it's
wasn't a
not
9.
perfect.
It was an 8.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a 7.
Because it was unique, though.
Yeah, that's why we give
Right?
it an 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it thrilled me and it was unique.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never seen a movie like that before.
Yeah.
So, good on you. Then the next movie, like it's just gonna be about deaf people, and the whole movie's completely silent. What I really liked is like there was still a little bit of sound, even though it was a silent movie. And then when it went to the perspective of the daughter who's actually deaf, there was no sound at all, and you could tell it was like, oh,
Yeah.
there's no sound.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
they really did audio engineering very well in that movie. Just like Dunkirk. The whole movie of Dunkirk, they played that one note to freak you out the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was, oh man, masterful. We take for granted how powerful sound is for emotion, but
Oh, yeah.
like what's interesting is you can watch like you can watch like a baby crying on silent, and you're like, oh, that's pretty sad. But then you watch a black screen and listen to a baby crying, you're gonna feel more emotion. Like, yeah, I think like I learned that in psychology, like Psych 101 like years ago.
Yeah.
But I think it was the placement of the hippocampus next to the ear. Hippocampus is like for regulating emotion.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like a shorter path to your ear. That was my theory. Because I couldn't figure it out. I was like, why is this the way it is?
Mhm.
So I just proposed that. It's probably wrong, but we just gravitate to more towards sounds.
Right.
Like if you're tired in the morning, you listen to music, you're like, oh, this is sick, and then you get energy. Like we
Yeah.
take for granted audio. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, so my philosophical question for the week is it possible to transfer consciousness? No. Wait, hold on. No. Wait, let me. Sorry. let me rephrase that. Is it possible to take you, and then transfer that into a machine?
I think so.
Why?
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 Well, if you can replicate the brain, yeah.
Okay, here we go. So, because I was thinking about this. All right, so is it possible to transfer consciousness? Yes. I will say yes because consciousness is just awareness, right? So consciousness is already in everything. So you don't really transfer it. It just is what it is. But can you transfer you into another thing? I'm going to say no. Because why? We store our memories in the brain. So you need the physical aspect to remember who you are. Remember how I was talking about filters before? Like there's like conscious awareness, and then after that there's your past, then there's your ideas, then your thoughts. But those are all mind things, right? But those things are held within the brain, right? Like they're localized centers within the brain.
So what I'm saying is you copy the brain.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm
Explain.
thinking as.
But how would you copy the exact brain?
I don't know when that's going to happen, but it'll probably happen.
But I see, like,
I mean, that's what they're trying to do, right?
You'd have to copy the brain so well.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I mean. You
exactly.
have to know about the brain enough to do that.
Okay, so
That's what I'm talking about.
I guess what I'm getting at here is, the you are is
So you're saying
It's
that
completely
the current
tethered.
you,
like you know when they say like I'm going to transfer myself into a robot. Impossible unless you transfer the exact brain, because the you think you are.
Yeah, that's
is
what I'm
made
thinking.
up- Like you know the Ryan Reynolds movie, how like he took his mind and then put it in the younger body. Well, I forgot how to transfer.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Or another movie for that is Transcendence. The Johnny Depp movie. They do it all the time. In
Yeah, they
movies,
do it all the time.
right? Where they're like, "Oh, I'm going to upload them to like the network," right? But it's like what we fail to realize is that memories and thoughts and feelings are all localized to the brain. So because when they say like the body is the mind, it's because the body is the vehicle and the storehouse for the mind. Consciousness is separate from the body and the mind. Consciousness flows through the body and the mind's filter, right? Like active awareness runs through these filters and then comes up with an idea of who it thinks it is. But that's just the mind thinking who it is,
Right.
right? Like thought, like who you are is made up of what's localized in your brain, right? Because if you get brain damage, you forget who you are,
Yeah.
right? So it's pretty evident that the mind is housed in the brain, right? So you can't possibly transfer.
Well, I'm saying you
identity.
copy the brain. That's
Well,
what
I mean,
that's what
alright,
I'm
yeah,
thinking
okay.
as.
But I'm talking about movie wise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what
they're.
they're trying to say too.
No, but in that movie with Ryan Reynolds, they took the body. They didn't put his brain in there. They just transferred his quote consciousness unquote into the.
It's
thing.
also a movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No,
Yeah.
of course. But I'm saying like how accurate are those movies? I'm saying not accurate at all.
They're
because
not accurate. They're
they-
movies. I think you'd have to talk to a scientist. I don't think they're talking to a scientist of how this works. This is just for a
Sure.
movie.
Okay. But theoretically, when people think, like, no, what I'm getting at is like I don't think people even realize that consciousness, mind, body, they're all separate things, but they're trying to lump them all as one thing. Right? It's like, oh, I'm going to transfer your consciousness into another person's body. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean you're going to transfer the memories, because consciousness is different from memories. Right? I'm saying people don't realize that they are active awareness.
I see what you're trying to say.
Right.
That's when you're trying to differentiate these things. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
it's like we don't even know. Well, people do know, but like they don't even know what consciousness is.
No, people aren't thinking this.
That's what I'm saying.
But they don't need
Exactly.
to think like
No,
this.
Of
in
course.
depth. I think
but-
this is what if someone who's doing this has to think that in depth,
Well, true.
right? I mean, this is if the scientist would have to have this is like experimental. So okay, he's not exactly him. So there's something missing.
But
So
then
this is what I mean by them still trying to understand what the brain does, or
Right,
how
but-
the brain
but
fully works.
Everything that I've heard of, that's why I turned to the yoga, because like the yoga is the only one that really focuses on the consciousness, right? Not many scientists really talk. I haven't heard any.
But they're not going in that field and doing this yet.
No, I know.
And if they are, you might have to talk to them. I don't know if they're prevalent in.
Right. But what I'm saying is it's not common knowledge that there is a differentiation between mind, body, and brain and consciousness.
Okay.
That's why I said the general we can't even jump to that step if we don't even understand this.
Yeah, but
if
that's what I mean by
that's what
I mean by research. They'll figure that out if that's true.
If what's true?
What you're saying. If that's how it works, they'll figure that out eventually.
The mind, and
yeah.
I couldn't see how it would be otherwise.
Because I think I've read things or I've seen things there's really hard. We don't fully understand the brain, so we can't replicate the brain yet.
Right. Of course. Yeah. Of course,
to get everything that's you into something else. So that's what I mean by they're still looking through this, right? They're still doing this.
You know what the all right, so nobody will ever actually know what mind believes it has gone through.
Yeah.
Right? But when you're fully in that present moment and you're not thinking, when you're in no mind, it's probably almost like dying. Because only after the fact do you go, oh man, I was totally in the zone. But it's only an interpretation of what your brain remembers from being in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's still just an interpretation. You'll never fully know what it means to be in the present moment. Because to be in the present moment means you will have eradicated mind for that moment.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I just think that.
No, I'm saying basically it's we'll never know what consciousness is. We just know we have it.
I don't want to say we'll never know.
No, but you can't know.
I don't know. We don't know what kind of technology will bring up.
No, but even technological. All right, in that moment, the moment has already passed. In order for you to science is just a recall. Memories are just a recall of what has just happened.
Mm-hmm.
We don't actually know what's going on in this moment. We can only look back on the moment. Me to actually say to you what just happened, or what's going on right now. You have to recall what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if I ask you what's going on right now, you're going to survey the area, and then you're going to recall into your brain what's going on in this moment, and then tell me what you believe to be going on. It's an after-the-fact thought.
Right. Okay.
So that's why I'm saying we'll never know what it is. Because...
I just don't want to say you'll never know.
No, but you can't ever fully know, because the moment is never known. It's only recalled upon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fucking mystery of the universe, bro. And that's what it's like to die, I believe. You won't know what it'll be like to die.
Mm-hmm.
You can only recall on it, but your brain won't be there to recall on it.
Right.
Mind blow.
Sure.
Does that make sense to you? Do you know what I'm saying, though?
I think so. But again, I don't know if I agree with it necessarily.
Okay, wait. All right, let me try one last time. All right, wait. Really focus on what I'm saying right now. Pause that. Okay, really focus on this right now. Because it's such a mind blow, but I'm wow, I can't believe you don't think this is a mind blow. All right. No. For me to go, what's happening in this moment? Okay. A signal needs to go from this moment into your brain.
Okay.
Right? And then from that signal, your brain's gonna tell you what's going on in that moment.
Okay.
But the moment has already passed the second you've seen it.
Okay.
So you'll never know what's actually happening in this moment. You can only recall.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You'll never know what the present moment is. Because you can't actually know what the present moment is. It's only recalls of the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so important to manage the stories we tell ourselves. Because
the
stories just direct past and future.
I mean, also, you don't see everything through our eyes, too, right? There's lots of
things. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But what my main point is that it's all recall. That's why you'll never know what's actually going on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And that's what I believe dying is, because you can never, because when you've died, there's no brain to recall anything. So it's just, I believe dying is just being fully in the present moment. And that's probably what the ancients were saying about consciousness. Like, you become one with consciousness, because they don't know what consciousness is. It's just a thing that's there in the background, watching what we're doing.
What?
So consciousness equals active awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Okay.
and it's peering through the filters,
Sure.
right? The filters of who we are.
Uh-huh.
So I lost my point. No, all right. So
I get what
you know
you're saying.
It's like
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
That's what's watching everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like, we'll never know what that exact thing is,
Right.
because that thing is fully in the present moment,
Uh-huh.
right? But you can never know what the present moment holds, because it has to go through the filters again, and it has to interpret through the filters,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's when the ancients are like, oh, you'll become one with consciousness, or the present moment, or like, you'll become one with everything,
Mm-hmm.
because there's no more filters anymore.
Right.
Because if you're dead, if there's no body, then there's nothing bouncing back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
It's only because we have a body we can recall things.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they say life is just a dream as well, because it's an interpretation.
Yeah.
Even feeling pain, right? Like, we feel a sense of pain.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a recall of what just happened. Because you have to be like, oh, that hurt. That felt like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah. All right. Ponder that. Till next time.
Sure.
I was still thinking about yeah. All right. So, yeah, till next time.
Yeah.
We'll watch.
Some of these brain tweezing fucking things.
If you have a good question out there, feel free to ask it.
You ask him.
Yeah, true. I love that stuff.
Yeah. I don't really care too much anymore
unless-
for those things.
Yeah, unless your question's like, why are you guys so lame? The answer's simple.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the answer.
I don't know. All right, take it easy. Till next time. I'm thinking too much.
It's not on a level, bro. It's not on a level.
Yeah, it's just because you think we're lame. Yeah. Sticks
Right.
and stones, homie. Sticks and stones.
Okay.
Watch your recall. Take
Cool.
it easy.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Peace.